Zane Show podcast. We are off and running on another week. Welcome in to the Eric Zane Show podcast, a daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my daily adventures. I had a lot of young people over the house this past weekend. Jackie's, I guess once a year she invites all these friends over. I think we're going to have a Zenith bash in a moment here. I can just feel it's just getting ready to explode on me. So it was all, bros, chicks, drinking heavily. I said, okay, Jackie, remember the last time you drank heavily? You actually puked so bad, so violently, you almost fell in. Let's not go down the road of alcoholism. This is something your dad's been, I won't. She didn't, and she behaved herself. I was happy. So hanging out. Diana's hanging out with him. She might have taken one of those guys home. Home meaning in the house. God forbid. Holy crap. I came strutting in after a long run. 8 miles. Yes, outside. Aram. Steady Eddie. I felt as strong on the 8th mile as I did on the 1st mile. This was a breakthrough week. Week 5 was on the training for the Grand Rapids Half Marathon. Breakthrough week. I kept it right at my pace that I needed to have. Was not overly tired. Wrapped up the 8 miles. Could easily have gone about 5 more. Felt great about that. Today, 4 1-mile repeats. That's what's happening. I'm getting a lot of grief from Aram and Mike Ball. Hang on, I'm going to smash this thing. Hey, fucking shit. About treadmill running. It's like douchebags. This is interval work. All right? It's not like my long runs are on the treadmill. You two don't know what the hell you're talking about. Aram, he actually put his money down for me 1 year ago, and I don't think he's going to do that again. I don't think anybody is going to predict and pick me when it comes to who is going to win this race. No one is. So that means, I guess, no one will claim the money? I don't know. It's all for a good cause to help our friends at the AT Children's Project. But we start week 6 today. Week 6 of 16. Doing much better than last year at this time. Last year at this time, I was injured. And no issues right now. Joey writes, I would never bet on you in any type of athletic competition. LOL. Okay, well, thank you. That is all just fuel. When you write that, that is fuel for your old pal Eric Zane. Charbs 152 looks new. Says, are the butthurt Zaniacs here? I'm here to troll them. I don't know. Probably not. I'm taking a look right now, and they're still kind of like starting to trickle in. I don't see any of them here yet. So whatever. It's one person's word against a mob's. That whole nonsense about, if you recall how I described on my backstory of the demise of the Zaniacs, the big bone of contention amongst these lunatics is that when I saw Dean's car, I had said, and I did, call 911, and then as I saw Dean's stupid face, I hit the red button and hung it up. And then as he left, they called me back. That's when I said, I don't need you. It was just a mistake. I blew it off. After that, I started thinking, you know what? I actually do want to call 911. So then I called and said, hey, I need somebody to get in touch with me because I need to explain the problem. And then that was that. Those fuckers went ahead and got that phone call on a Freedom of Information Act because they're assholes, and that's what assholes do. And then they're like, well, wait a minute now. He didn't have that first call where he hung up. I mean, he said that, but they don't have that call, so that means he didn't do that. Oh, my God. This is a fucking Perry Mason moment. Columbo. I'm like, well, no, I did. And I don't know why they don't have me hanging up. Maybe you have to speak. What does that even matter? Well, it changes everything. It means you're a liar. I go, no, I'm not. I'm really not. And okay, so then it's like, let's say there was, you did accept that I was telling the truth. Would there be any reason for you stupid assholes to be angry? Or were you just looking for one thing to be angry about, and that was the only thing, so that was the basis for all of your hatred? Let me just say, these are the white trashiest of white trashiest people. All right? These are fucking idiots. And I am so much better off that these pieces of shit are gone. They're fucking psychopaths. The show is 1,000,000 times better without these cocksuckers wrecking everything. So everybody, I mean, seriously, it was complete bullshit. All of it. I'm so glad that they are gone. Those fucking losers. Unbelievable. But that's okay. We move on. You know, no big deal. At the end of the day, a few less pieces of shit in my life makes me happy. Question. Did Huge survive this week, the past week with you? Yes. We had an absolute ball. I loved that. I even had people who reached out and said that, was one person wrote, the Huge show was almost listenable. And I'm like, oh, come on, man. Don't say that. Bill is very, very good to me. He's always had my back. I think he kind of gets a raw deal a lot of the time. But, no, I love that. Is he going to put the podcast up? Yes. But we didn't get the Monday. That was my fault. I got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday out there. So that's that will be made available. I'll let you know. Dirty Donut Race says, I can relate a little bit. I used to race cars and had a few people show up at my house who I knew but did not know that well. It was a bit unnerving for sure, especially in today's world. Sam the Jew says, I miss listening to you guys. Talking about Huge. And Sarah says, it's my favorite with you and Huge. Yeah, there's a lot of hilarious tension. Hilarious conflict that happens between us. All right. I hope y'all had a fantastic weekend. And, you know, as I've indicated, I've always appreciated the support. Here we are in the Baldwin Ace Hardware Fear Bunker Studio, a beacon of DIY awesomeness in the Northland. Somebody won that lottery. One ticket in Illinois won. Now, I don't know if that's a group of people who are in a lottery club. I don't know if it's just one person, you know, who just decided to, on a whim, buy a ticket. Somebody won that damn thing. And when it was all said and done, it was just under $1,300,000,000. You know, when you hear, yeah, it was $1.28 billion, you forget that after the point, that is $280 million. $1.28 billion for some person who bought a ticket somewhere in Illinois. Now, if you took the annuity You're going to make $44 million a year for 29 years. I still don't understand the logic behind taking the lump sum. So basically, several hundred million comes off the top. I'd have to investigate that completely if I had won that. And that's, you've got a year to investigate that. So I think, in my fantasy world, if Eric wins that thing, the first thing you do is you establish your team who are now going to work for you. I start with the tax hobbit, Troy Ginzer. I've a couple people I know in the financial world. They'll also be working for me. These are the people who are going to ensure that everything goes appropriately. Translation, these are the people who are going to rob me later. I did do some research. I didn't do the research. Stevie did the research and sent it to me because she's awesome. That there is a way to remain anonymous. And it comes to us from the great state of Michigan. Not long ago, there was another gigantic jackpot. And someone won it. And the people who won it, people or persons or person or whatever, did a little research and actually reached out to the Attorney General, our wonderful Attorney General. What is her name again? The lesbian. Janet Reno? Okay, you got Whitmer. Nessel. Dana Nessel. Janet Reno. Dana Nessel. Terrific, AG. I'm not even kidding you. Michigan has the best governor and the best Attorney General. They're absolutely fantastic. Side note, there is an election tomorrow, and I am going to go and vote. And I don't think I can vote for the primary for governor because I am not a registered Republican. But these 5 pieces of shit are running to see who's going to lose to Whitmer, And the good news is the hot one got the endorsement. Well, the only chick in it got the endorsement from scumbag Trump. So that means all you losers are probably going to vote for her, and then the other 4 maniacs are just going to drift away and never be heard from again. So then it's going to be the incredibly hot Tudor Dixon against the incredibly hot but better governor, Gretchen Whitmer. I will show up at the poll to vote on what I can vote on. And I suggest you vote exactly like I'm telling you right now. If not, you're an asshole. Go into the list. Yes, I'm telling you how to vote. I'm telling you that if you don't do what I do, you're doing it wrong. The first thing you do is you don't vote for any Republicans. You just go down the list, and then actually, this is the only thing you do. And if you see any choice, on the ballot between Republican and Democrat, you must vote Democrat. Everybody who has a D by their name, you vote for them. If there's 2, flip a coin. As long as you don't vote for any animal Republicans. No Republicans, vote all Democrat. Take it from me. Your old pal Eric Zane, we need to do this. Vote Democrat, tell all Republicans to fuck off. Anyway, so back to this lottery thing. Somebody won like $1 billion a couple years ago. And they determined that this had happened in other states where a lottery group with 1 representative is allowed to claim the prize. So they petitioned Michigan's Attorney General, Dana Nessel, and they said, hey, is this on the up and up? Because Michigan Lottery says one person must reveal themselves. And she said, absolutely, you can do that. In fact, even if you win, you can make your quote-unquote lottery group after you win it. And the person who comes forward to claim it doesn't have to be a person who actually wins it. So one lawyer in Florida came up with this and is making a killing. So if I win the lottery, if I win $1.28 billion, and I don't want anybody to know who I am, I form a group called Dumbfuck Zaniac Inbred Swinging Lottery Losers. And then I put one person in charge of the group. There doesn't even have to be any people in it. You just name it, and then you hire this attorney in Florida, and you give him like $1 million, and then he claims it. And then when he claims it, he gives it all to you. And this guy in Florida has been making a killing doing this for people. He's like the only guy who does it. He's got it. He's got everything taken care of. He's become an expert at it. So that's how you can actually do that. So that is fucking sweet. So we will probably never, and the word is getting around, we will probably never find out won that thing. All right. Some comments about my thoughts about voting. That's horrible voting advice. If you would have won, what would you do as far as radio podcast goes? That's interesting. I think, that's tough. What I'd be worried about, though, that if I decide to just be unmotivated and not do anything and drastically change my life to that of a slug, I'm afraid that I would slowly just kind of lose my mind. I think I need to kind of have some type of structure, knowing me. I'd have to think about that. I can't really tell you any one exact thing that I would do other than remain anonymous and think. I did talk about this last week, and Corey's right. I would buy the company that owns Free Beer and Hot Wings and fire them. I think I would make it worse, though. I don't know if I'd buy the whole company, but I'd give them an offer that they couldn't refuse to at least buy the radio station. That would make their contracts mine, and then I would fuck with them. And that would be my job, just fucking with those guys. Yeah, I know that's a horrible, bitter thing to do, but it would be so much fun. I'm not quite over that, so I would need some type of, just something to satisfy my vindictive, evil mind, to make me happy. You could have built a studio and started your own podcasting company. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's a lot of work. Whatever. Joey writes, vote Garrett Soldano. This is that transphobic asshole. Oh, my God. This guy is probably the biggest piece of shit. This guy's probably going to get like 2% of the vote. All of those losers are going to get like 2% of the vote. And the hot chick is going to dominate. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome tomorrow. We're going to find out that it's the hot chick. All right. My pal David almost seriously hurt or killed me and his dog. Friday, I went out. I got done with the huge show, and then I immediately drove to the community of Sagatuck. And this is like my buddy Dave lives out there. This is Dave who and his lovely wife Mary live there. All the times I've spoken of the AT Children's Project, and they have 3 children, Abby, and then the late Kate and Olivia. Kate and Olivia were the children that they lost to AT. Well, they've now settled in Sagatuck, and they're right on the Kalamazoo River. It's a beautiful place to visit, Sagatuck. It's just, it is so fantastic. And they're having this big festival called the Venetian Days or Venetian Festival or something like that. And so what do? Well, a bunch of white Dutch people get together and, there's a few of these 80s tribute bands that exist. You got Mega 80s is a big one. And then I forgot the name of this group, but they were everybody. Oh my God. People my age in their 50s. This is what they live for. Okay. They show up there and they pay $10 to get in. There was probably like 3,000 people, middle-aged, over the hill, middle-aged, white people, singing and dancing to like Safety Dance and Our Lips Are Sealed by the Go-Go's and all sorts of Footloose. They did them all. And the people are just screaming and yelling. Now, I'm just going to tell you that my buddy Dave and I, we hate all of this shit. So Diana said, are you going to go with me? And I said, absolutely not. I said, this sounds terrible. There's nothing I can't. I mean, seriously, there's nothing I would hate more than being in the crowd to see and witness and be part of this shit. And while you guys dance to ABBA songs sung by these fucking idiots on the stage, I don't want to do that, but I will. And she goes, well, just listen, Dave doesn't want to do it either. He's just like you. I go, yeah, I know. He's my soul brother. We are like, seriously, he's my brother from another mother. And so she says, just go, and then you and him can go out on a boat ride. And I go, okay, you know what? I'll do that. As long as I don't have to be with you people and all of those idiots. I don't want any part of that. So it's kind of weird because you got all of us and Dave's wife, Mary, obviously my wife, and then a couple other lady pals whose husbands are also there. But they don't get to go with Dave and I. This is a tiny boat. And they're not like in the club. All right? So we like leave. Have fun. We pass the line where all these idiots are in line, and we go wander over to where the boat is docked. We got Dave's dog, Annie. It's a something doodle. I don't know what it is. And I love this dog. Now it's Dave and myself and the dog. And we're both getting into this teeny tiny boat. And then I look at Dave and he looks at me and he goes, everybody around us thinks we're gay. And I go, oh, yeah, absolutely. I go, and we should act gay. That's what we should do. We should dive full into the gayness because this is Sagatuck. This is an oasis of gayness. Sagatuck, Michigan, 99% of the population is gay. It might even be higher than that. And so there Dave and I are, and everyone's like, oh, yeah, these two guys are going to go out into the middle of the water and BF right in this boat. So, all right. We get in there, and we're just sitting there shooting the shit. And then the band goes on stage, and now it's time to leave. Let's get the hell out of here. All right. Cruising along. Again, this is not a tiny boat. I mean, this is not a large boat. This is a small boat. And it's got this little 35 horsepower motor, and we're tooling around the this area of the Kalamazoo River, and it's like a lake. It's huge, and it spills out into Lake Michigan. And so he's left. He's now into the channel approaching Lake Michigan, and I'm thinking to myself, God, man, I don't know. This is not really the most seaworthy vessel to be out on this lake because the chop was pretty big. I mean, this lake eats boats like this. I don't know, Dave. So now I'm going to share a picture with you. Okay? And it's key to the story. At one point, Dave, I don't know he's doing this, but he takes a picture of your old pal Eric Zane and the dog, Annie. Now, if you're listening to the audio podcast, obviously you can't see this, but just in the show notes, there's the picture. And all it is really, if you can just picture, is me at the front of the boat. It's a nice picture. The sun is thinking about setting. There's these two what appear to be lighthouses, but they're not. They're like pylons so that boats know where to go. Beacons, if you will, when they're lit up at night, but this is not nighttime. The sun still has not yet set. The sun looks fantastic. It's shining on the water, and Annie the dog is in front of me. And I don't even know that he took that picture. Okay, so that's nice, but that's where the niceness ends. Because, and I'll zoom in, if you look, okay, on the side, that wall runs along the channel there. That metal wall makes the channel. Now, as you can also see here, there's a wall going that is horizontal. So this area where the break wall is, it curves in like and it's not like slanted. It's like a hard right at the wall, and I don't even know why they have it there. But right here is a wall that if you aren't looking anywhere, if you hit that, that's the end of it. Okay, so we're going fast enough that though that looks like it's quite a ways off in the distance, it's not. And I'm not even really doing anything at this point when we're that far away other than just sitting there picking my foot like I am in this picture with Annie the dog. We're getting closer and closer to that wall. Now, if, again, this is not, okay, I forget what's what, because if it's perpendicular, it's running with us, right? So it's horizontal to us. Am I saying that right? If you hit it, you're going to hit a solid wall. You're not going to side swipe anything. You're going to smash into it. Okay, I look down, and Dave's looking right at his phone. And I look up and I look over my shoulder and the wall is getting closer. And I'm like, boy, that's kind of weird. And then more time passes. And he's still looking down trying to send this fucking picture. And then we're, okay, about twice the distance from me to that door behind me. So we're about 25 feet away. I go, Dave, you're going to hit the wall. And he does not respond. He's still looking down at his phone. Then I said, Dave! And he looks up and goes, Jesus Christ! And he yanks the fucking wheel. I mean, and we just missed a head-on collision with that fucking wall. And I'm like, son of a bitch. And he was freaked out. He goes, I missed it totally. I go, yeah, you fucking missed it totally. Holy shit, Dave. If we would have hit that, Annie would have flown over. The boat would have been wrecked. And, oh, my God. Somehow we got out of that. And then I'm thinking, Jesus, let's just go home at this point. Let's just go back because it's starting to get a little bit bumpy. Side note, I'm getting a lot of comments about my appearance in this picture. You totally look gay. What? I'm wearing a pair of shorts, a T-shirt, and a shirt that you button down that's open. I look gay? All right, fine. Nice shorts and open shirt to flap in the breeze. Now, Kyle, who is one of the gays in the audience, would know this. He says, yes, you look totally gay. Well, good. That's a compliment. We all know that. We get out past those two pylons there, whatever the fuck they are, markers. And I'm not kidding you. This boat immediately feels like it's about to get just hammered into oblivion and be at the bottom of the lake. And I felt like saying, man, we don't need to go out here. We do not need to go out here. And sure enough, he goes out. And so the boat is, it's hitting the waves, and then you can feel, it's like, and then bam, crashes down. It's like, oh yeah, this is fun. The dog is freaked out. And I'm like, dude, for the dog's sake alone, let's just go back in. Why are you doing this? And I am not kidding you. I had both arms on that railing just hanging on for dear life as he kind of like tooled around the lake for a period of time. It's like, dude, this boat is not made for this. This thing is made for no waves. This is ridiculous. And so it was rough, man. I am not kidding you. I did not enjoy myself at all. And he kind of like tooled around a little bit and then finally turned it around and started headed back from like, oh, thank God we made it. I felt so bad for the dog. Absolute shit. And then finally we get out of that shit, head back down the channel. We go back to where we started, where we first got into the boat and everybody thought we were getting ready to go BF. And I go, hey, there's no place to put this thing. He goes, well, let's just sit here. I go, no. I go, take me back to your place. I want to go home. He ended up going over to where he lives. He actually got a place right on it at his house. It's fantastic. We can put the fucking boat. I go, I'm getting the fuck out of here. I am cashing in my chips. Left Diana there. I go, you're going to have to. She actually planned on me leaving because I had to go take care of the damn dogs. I go, I got to go. I go, Dave just tried to kill Annie and me and himself. Everybody thinks I'm gay. No song lyrics, Sarah. You know what can happen if you do that. Absolute shit show. But I got a story. Dave almost killed your old pal Eric Zane. Hang on. Okay. For those of you that are getting the show via Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, I'm saying goodbye to you now. I only have you on here because I want you to go to my Twitch, twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live if you want the show uninterrupted. Oh my God. Twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live. It's what you do. You hit follow, and then it'll let you know when I'm going live, and then you won't ever miss a moment. If you're the type of person that, hey, I like it live, that's fine. There you go. If you are on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook, you only get a portion of the show, okay? In addition, download the show wherever you download podcasts. The audio podcast, wherever you download podcasts. Could be Apple Podcasts, whatever. Just search Eric Zane Show, and you will find it, or go to my website, ericzaneshow.com. Okay,